I believe 99% of the world's problems are tackled in the wrong way. Most people aren't religious or spiritual, so they only see the physical world and they can only conceive of the physical world. So the way they tackle their problems is by doing things in the physical world, by their deeds. They toil endlessly and only achieve a fraction of what some other person has achieved. And they'll look at that person like, how on God's earth did that person achieve that much and I achieved this little? And I believe that people can do more in this world if they truly internalize this concept that we are spiritual beings. We're not, of course, we're physical beings, but we are primarily spiritual beings. That we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. Therefore, the physical realm, what you can see, the world, your material possessions, is simply a manifestation of that spiritual realm. So the most efficient way to change the physical realm would be to change the spiritual realm. And you may think that this is that spiritual voodoo crystal gold stuff, but it's like whatever you're doing probably hasn't been working. And you were led to this video for a specific reason, so you might as well try it. And we see this concept about how the physical realm is just a manifestation of the spiritual one in Romans. In Romans it says that you will be renewed by the transformation of your mind. It doesn't say you'll be renewed by the transformation of your deeds or the transformation of your acts in this real world, but the transformation of your mind. And your mind is your spiritual hub. I urge you, whatever you've been doing probably hasn't been working. I've only been implementing these things in my life for like the past 2 months, and it's been inconsistent, but every time I focus on it, my life improves drastically. And it's not even improving in a voodoo way or whatnot. It's like, these are spiritual laws that God has put in place. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, these laws, they all apply. So I just want to give a disclaimer. I don't know how I'm going to set up this because there's 7 laws. The first law is the law of pure potentiality. As humans, in our base state, we are consciousness. That is the most rudiment thing that we have. That is the most important thing that human beings have, is our consciousness. Because once we lose our consciousness, our ability to compute what is going around, we just become like blobs of cells. Literally. See, there are people who have gone through physical conditions, they got injured, and they have lost their consciousness. I guess you can say they've lost their consciousness. And they can't operate, they can't change their life. All they can do is sit there. So the most important thing that people have isn't necessarily your legs, your arms, whatnot, but it's your consciousness, your ability to perceive what is going on in the world and to perceive what is going on in the spiritual realm. But consciousness isn't even the focus of this law. Consciousness equals pure potentiality. So what potentiality is like you have the means to do something more. It's like you are capable of doing something, so you have potential. Like when people say potential, so pure potentiality. So as human beings, we have pure ability to do whatever we want to do. We are made in the image of God, and God is the greatest creator of all. He can create literally anything. Yes, I'm not trying to say that we can create to the same degree as God, but because we are made in the image of God, we have the same ability to create. And that is where this potentiality comes from, this ability to achieve great things. The reason why most people aren't able to utilize this law is because the only way to utilize this law is to have what they call self-referral. So self-referral is essentially where your reference is your internal spirit. The opposite of self-referral would be object referral. And in object referral, your reference point will be everything outside of you. It will be what people think of you. It will be your possessions. It will be, I'm in a relationship, so it means that I'm good and it means that I'm this. So everything that you base yourself off of is completely outside of you. And more dangerously, outside of your control. So now I'm just going to compare self-referral and object referral. Self-referral is permanent because it's based on the knowledge of who you are. It's based on the knowledge of who you come from. You come from God. You're made in the image of God. So you will always have this like self-esteem because you know who you are. Whereas in object referral, it's not permanent because it lasts only as long as you have that object in this life. If your reference point is your success in your career, as soon as you lose that success, or as soon as you retire, your power goes. Whereas in self-referral, no accolade, no achievement can take away the power or add to the power that you have. If you operate on self-referral, you truly have no needs because you will be intrinsically aware of the fact that you have everything you need to succeed. People who operate based on object referral, they always think that they need something to achieve. They need status. They need money. They need validation from other people to be happy. But then that simply isn't the case. If you are self-referred, I think that's the right way to say it. If you're self-referred, again, you know where you come from. You know you're made in the image of God. You have pure potentiality. So you can do whatever you want. So the intrinsic knowledge that you can do whatever you want makes you not need anything, because you know that you can do whatever I want. And now on to the emotional effects of self-referral and object referral. When you are self-referred, I'm just going to keep on saying that if it's wrong, then you're going to be able to clip me saying self-referred, whatever. But anyways, when you operate on self-referral, there is an absence of fear, and you feel like you are level to everyone because you're made in the image of God. God didn't make one soul greater than the other. So you are beneath no one, but you're also above no one. So that gives you this unique blend of supreme confidence as well as extreme humility. Whereas if you operate based on object referral, you're fearful. You may be in a good position. You may feel that you're superior to someone, but TJ! You may feel that you're superior to someone, but at the core, superiority is fear. Because why would you need to compare yourself? If you were not scared of someone, you wouldn't compare yourself to them. So if you're feeling superior to someone, it means that there's fear deep inside of you. So you may be thinking, you said a lot of fluff. How can I implement this into my life? I want to get to that right now. Essentially, pure consciousness leads to the creativity that you need to create your life. Because the more conscious you are, the more things you know. And if you know more things, you are able to implement, to consider more factors to improve your life, to get your desired result. And where this pure potentiality, where this creativity comes from, is from a field. Quantum physicists, or whatever they call it's the quantum field, where it's the field of all possibilities. So the 4 ways to access this field is through silence, meditation, prayer, and non-judgment. So the first one, silence. Silence, you need to be still to connect to this field, to connect to God. Because even in the Bible, it says, be still and know that I am God. So essentially, you need to have periods of silence every single day. And that's where meditation comes in handy. Because with meditation, you're forced to have periods of silence where you simply sit still, where you observe nothing. You don't judge anything. You don't judge your thoughts. You just sit still and you let yourself be. Prayer is also just a form of meditation. So prayer, silence, meditation, it covers like the same. It's like in the same bracket. Now on to non-judgment. Non-judgment is simply not judging the things that you come across. The reason why this is so important is because when you continually judge things, when you continually analyze your surroundings and whatnot, it creates an inner turmoil. And because of this inner turmoil, you won't be able to connect to God. You won't be able to be still and know that He is God. So you won't have access to the creativity that comes from knowing that you are made in the image of God. I believe that if you are still and quiet, you have access to all the information that you need at that moment. And the important note is, at that moment, we think that because we have the internet, because we are hyper connected, that we're able to do so many more things. And that is partly true. But it's only true if we can utilize the internet in the right way. Utilize it when we need it. See, God is all-knowing. We don't need university to connect with God. We just need to sit still, be still, and know that He is there. And now I'm going to read you a quote from the book to end this part off. I know it may not make sense. Like from this first law, you may not see how it's going to help your life, but there are 7 laws that all intermingle. So just trust me, carry on watching. But I'm going to finish off the law of pure potentiality off with this quote from the book. So the quote says, this is from Franz Kafka. I don't know how to pronounce it. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. You need not even listen. Simply wait. You need not even wait. Just learn to become quiet and still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to become unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet.